Enlil and Enki. These two gods, who were both siblings and competitors, are fundamental figures in the Sumerian religion, and they've had a lasting impact on human history. Enlil, the god of air and storms, and Enki, the lord of water and wisdom, represent a dynamic interplay of power, wisdom, rivalry, and sometimes cooperation that define the ethos of an entire civilization and even humanity as a whole. What if the secrets of the universe aren't found in our advanced telescopes or under our powerful microscopes, but rather in old stories and legends from ancient times? What if the tales about gods which have been forgotten over time hint at hidden truths about our lives, our minds, and our deep connection to the universe? And what if the blueprint of humanity was not crafted by chance mutations and blind evolutionary processes, but instead was the intentional masterpiece of divine architects? The narrative of Enlil, the Lord Wind, and Enki, the Lord Earth, is not a mere tale of divine personas from a civilization that has long succumbed to the ravages of time. This is a deep connection between two fundamental forces that shape our lives. Enlil, the breath of the sky and power of the storm, radiates power and order, symbolizing the higher realms of existence, the heavens above us. On the other hand, Enki, the deity of water and knowledge, the clever schemer, symbolizes the deep secrets of the earth below us, the hidden wonders of existence. Enki, the lord of the earth and waters, is a figure of immense power and intellect in the Sumerian pantheon. His name, comprised of the Sumerian words for lord, En, and earth, Ki, denotes his domain over the earthly elements, yet it's his association with water, both the life-giving and the chaotic, that captures his essence most vividly. Consider this: the Sumerians believed that fresh water existed in the depths of the earth, and it was Enki who supplied this life-giving resource to the land, nourishing it and making it fertile. This points to Enki's role as a god of agriculture and abundance, a benefactor of civilization. Yet, the god of wisdom was not just an embodiment of generosity and prosperity. He was also the trickster of the pantheon, known for his clever schemes and sharp wit that allowed him to bend rules without actually breaking them. When the gods decided to unleash a devastating flood to wipe out humanity, Enki was driven by compassion and cunning, went against the divine plan. He warned the human king Utnapishtim to build a boat and save humanity from extinction. This rebellious streak is a defining aspect of Enki's character, marking him as a deity who would even defy his own kind for the welfare of humanity. It was said that he sent from Dilmun, a paradisiacal land of Sumerian myth, the 7 wise men or Abgal to enlighten humankind. Each of these Abgal was associated with a specific art or craft, further emphasizing Enki's role in encouraging creativity and wisdom. However, one of the most captivating tales associated with Enki involves his intense rivalry with his brother Enlil. This legendary conflict represents not just a divine power struggle, but also a division of beliefs and areas of influence. But does this rivalry hint at something deeper? Some believe it might symbolize the age-old human struggle between nature and civilization, survival and progress. Throughout history, they have been interpreted as gods, angels, and now in the modern era as extraterrestrial visitors who brought great wisdom to Earth. In essence, the Anunnaki are a group of ancient Mesopotamian deities worshipped by the Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, and Assyrian cultures. Their numbers, descriptions, and roles differ across various sources, leading to contradictions. According to the earliest Sumerian texts, the Anunnaki were the most powerful gods in a diverse pantheon and were said to be descendants of An, the supreme deity. In later accounts, they took the role of 7 judges, presiding over the underworld as depicted in the Epic of Gilgamesh. The earliest mention of the Anunnaki can be traced back to the Re of Gudir of the 3rd dynasty of Ur, where they're referenced as the most significant deities in the Sumerian pantheon, descended from An. Unfortunately, no complete surviving list of Anunnaki deities exists. But why did the Anunnaki come to Earth? What were they looking for? According to Zacharias Sitchin, the Anunnaki lived on a planet called Nibiru. However, there were problems in Nibiru's atmosphere, and after a period of study, the Anunnaki conclude that in order to repair their atmosphere, they must enrich it with gold. They studied all the planets in our solar system and found that the planet with the largest amount of gold deposits was Earth, so a plan was made whereby a detachment of the Anunnaki would travel to Earth and extract the necessary gold from the seawater. The individual in charge of the whole operation is Enlil, and he travels with his brother Enki in the role of chief engineer. Both travel to Earth along with an Anunnaki ship that was to carry the gold mined from the sea, specifically Red Sea and the coast of North Africa. Everything goes well at first, but they can't extract enough gold from the sea, and from their center, they switch operations to Africa, where they dig gold mines. Although they began mining gold in Africa, their main center of action remained in Eden in Sumeria. Eventually, Enlil leaves the planet Earth, leaving Enki in complete control. Soon, some of the Anunnaki doing the mining began to complain that it was much more difficult work than they had agreed to do, putting the entire operation at risk. Enki comes up with an idea, and that is to genetically modify the proto-humans that are on the planet to make them more intelligent and able to do the hard work of mining. The Anunnaki have technology that uses genetic engineering that they've developed a long time ago. After much trial and error, Enki succeeded in producing an Anunnaki Homo erectus hybrid. In other words, the genetic structure of the Anunnaki was mixed with the genetic structure of Homo erectus to create a new type of human being. The new hybrid Enki calls Adamu. So Enki then went to work again, making his Adamu capable of sexual reproduction. In other words, Enki created Adamu in Eden, but then further created a female, Eve probably, to allow Adamu to reproduce itself. This now works extremely well. Adamus are reasonably intelligent and work hard. They also begin to replicate in large numbers, and the Anunnaki train them to grow crops. At this point, a problem begins to arise. The Anunnaki find female Adamu very attractive and begin mating with them. This produced another hybrid form. Some of the new hybrids were accepted while others were not, but the end result was that Enlil ordered the Adamu to be left to die. It was then observed that Nibiru's next orbit would bring it closer to the South Pole, which would cause a melting effect of all the ice, causing flooding of most of Earth's surface along with major earthquakes and volcanoes. Enki is very fond of his creations and secretly helps an Adamu called Utnapishtim to build an ark to save as many Adamus as possible, as well as all kinds of animals and plants. The ark might actually be a submarine. Instead of the animals going 2 by 2, they contain the genetic records of a lifetime. With Nibiru's next orbit, the expected catastrophe begins and massive flood occurs, thus ending the last ice age. Then, all that occurred about 13,000 years ago. All of it was destroyed. Anyway, the floods finally recede and Enlil, Enki and the rest of the Anunnaki return to Earth. The Anunnaki began to repair their infrastructure in Sumer or Eden and decided to increase their gold mining operation as well as establish a way station on Mars. The Sumerians of Sumer, who emerged as the earliest known civilization around the 5th millennium BC, played a pivotal role. Originally a non-Semitic culture, the Sumerians thrived as a nation by 3000 BC due to their advanced irrigation techniques, leading to the development of influential city-states like Ur, Uruk, Eridu, Lagash, and Kish. Credited with inventing cuneiform writing, the Sumerians were ahead of their time and possessed extensive knowledge in music, poetry, art, mathematics, astronomy, and science. According to Sumerian creation myths, the Anunnaki, or the great sons of Anu, played a foundational role in their culture. These beings were known as the Shining Ones. Early accounts of the Shining Ones can be found in 4 principal sources: a Sumerian tablet from the Library of Nekol, where they're named the Anunnaki, the Book of Enoch, referring to them as angels, watchers, or Nephilim, the Book of Jubilees, and the biblical Book of Genesis, where they're called Elohim. In Genesis, the phrase Elohim is used indicating the Shining Ones. El signifies brightness and shining, and this Semitic word appears in various ancient languages. Additionally, Elohim, being plural, should be read as the Shining Ones. In the Old Testament, Elohim is frequently used to refer to God and other deities, acknowledging the existence of other gods during that period. Replacing Lord with the Shining Ones while reading the Bible reveals remarkable difference, providing a truer understanding of the original text. The biblical God is the light, giving birth to the divine spark of Christ. Thus, a more accurate interpretation emerges, highlighting the association of God with illumination, fire, the sun, light, and the enlightened beings emanating from that brilliance, the source of intelligence itself. Anu, or An, the chief sky and sun god, signifies shining. Therefore, the Anunnaki translates to sons of the Shining One, or sons of light. In Ireland, Aine denotes shining, possibly connecting to the Tuatha De Danann, known as the Shining Ones of Ireland, as well as the serpent cult that Saint Patrick eradicated from the Emerald Isle. Furthermore, there exists an intriguing semi-nomadic bear worship tribe in Japan called the Ainu. The Ainu, characterized by Caucasian features, round heads, fair skin, wavy hair, and gray or blue eyes, have reportedly inhabited various Japanese islands like Okinawa for over 7,000 years. Additionally, linguistic similarities have been observed between the Ainu and the Basque people residing in the Pyrenees, the mountain range spanning Spain and France. Also interesting is the fact that in these Ainu regions, a number of stone circles have been found with a slender upright stone in the center, similar to those found in the British Isles and elsewhere. These Anunnaki, or Shining Ones, were culturally and technically advanced people who settled in a mountain valley in the Middle East around 8200 BC, and, as their primary concern, established an agricultural center we now know as the Garden of Eden for teaching and training of the local tribesmen. Anu and his wife Antu had 2 sons. Enlil, the storm god, ruled the air and atmosphere, and Enki, the water. Enki is also the wise teacher known as Ire or Ons, who led the fish beings that came from the sea, or indeed from across the sea. Enki was depicted as a goat with a fish's tail. It became the sign of Capricorn. Enki, or Ire's consort, was Nimki or Damkina, and their children were Marduk and Nayach. Enlil, also known as Bel or Baal, and whose patron city with Nippur later ruled in Anu's name, Naimil, ruled the earth. The early Sumerians described themselves as constantly nourished by the milk of Nikhurzak, the great mother moon goddess. The Assyrians knew her as Atargatis, the mermaid. The son of Enlil and Ninmah was the war god Ninurta, also known as Nimrod. And like Horus and Osiris, he became associated with the star constellation of Orion. As we step back from the ancient narratives of Anunnaki, the figures of Enlil and Enki embodied themes of creation, knowledge, and the intricate dance of power. Their tales, woven deep into the cultural fabric of Mesopotamia, continue to inspire, bewilder, and raise profound questions. Enlil, the lord of the wind, and Enki, the deity of wisdom and aquatic realms, are not merely characters in an ancient mythology, but emblematic of humanity's ceaseless quest for understanding. They symbolize our perennial fascination with the heavens and the depths of earth and the balance of power that dictates the cosmos and our place within it.